Yeah! Welcome out once again. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media, in case you didn't know. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and we have come to give you that boom bap breakfast. And I can't do it by myself, so serving you up today, we got no other than Burn It Down, Kim Brown, and Jackie Lugman. Yep.
Yo, good morning.
That's right. Y'all know that track? You know that track?
Do not. It's giving me 90s dance vibes.
Yeah, and I almost got it, but
Here's a little something.
House music always soothes.
I'll house you.
Mm.
Oh,
God.
is it Don't Let Me Wait?
Come into my house.
Come into my house. Ear
queen.
Doctor, say what? Give me body. Yo, okay.
What's good? What's
Yo,
good?
we have to do an episode of Classical Breakdown doing the 90s dance, that house dance music, that Black Box, that CeCe Peniston, that Crystal Waters, that Robin S.
Okay.
Gotta
I
give
like
y'all that.
I like it. We could do that. I don't know if we're gonna be on tomorrow. I might need a week off.
We not doing it tomorrow? I mean, tell me so I don't have to do my homework.
We still gonna do it. Yeah.
We've got some requests, by the way. Shout out to Shanette. Shanette last night on Burn It Down with Kim Brown requested that we do 80s R&B. And I was thinking, I said, you know who we need to do? Patrice Rushen. We need to teach the kids them about Patrice Rushen.
80s R&B. We talking about You Are My Lady.
Oh, Freddie.
Yeah.
Freddie, Luther, all them. Yeah, that's a time.
All of it. Shirley Murdoch, Jeffrey Osborne. Woo, Jeffrey Osborne. Don't let me see Jeffrey Osborne. I'm a slingshot them Jones. Bang down. Sorry.
Who was Jackie? Jackie, what was you playing when you was in between the sheets?
Wow.
In the 80s.
Oh, whoa.
That's a song. It's a song.
First of all, I hate that song.
What? Really? For Earth, Wind, and Fire?
I don't know. I just never liked it. But then I've never look. I am a metalhead, so love songs are not my thing.
Okay.
So
you was in between the sheets. Like,
She was thrashing. She was doing that thrash in between the sheets.
I usually didn't pay any attention to the soundtrack for that.
Had it all in your head.
As you know, there wasn't like mood setting music that I didn't know.
Oh man, yeah.
It either happened or it didn't, and it was like, okay, well,
okay.
See, brother, like Ear Doctor, like to set the ambiance.
I like to set the mood, some candles. You know what I mean? A little bit
not
of
candles. Oh,
what was your go-to, Ear Doctor? I feel like Silk
Sade.
Lose Control was in your rotation.
Of course, it was Sade.
If we was 80s, it was Sade. And damn, how old was I in 80s?
You was a baby. That's what I'm saying. All this. What was you doing making of it? Nigga, you was 10. What is you talking about?
Wait a minute. I was in the 8th grade.
In what year?
In the 80s.
No, that's a lie.
Not
All
89.
lies.
89.
Okay, that may not be a lie.
Yeah, I graduated in 89. I remember that much. I don't remember a lot, but yeah. So I had a girlfriend in the 8th grade.
Okay.
I ain't set no ambiance and stuff. I might have just, played New Edition in the background and sung it to her. And I remember singing.
Used to sing. You had to sing to get some.
Wow.
I remember singing New Edition. I'm lost in love to one girl.
Whoa, hitting them high notes from Ralph.
You love me? Yeah, that was it. You got to sing through your nose like Ralph. You
Oh,
got
yes,
yeah.
yeah, and that's why it's like, oh my God, not.
I bet it worked though. Jeez, did it work?
Hey.
Hey,
Oh.
hey.
Anyway, yo, so Jackie, you been on the road. What's good with you?
On the road again, Willie Nelson.
I
Where are you
know.
coming from this time, Jackie?
So we just got back from Oakland, from Seattle and Oakland. Seattle was great. We had a fantastic event in Seattle. We planned a few events with OG Black Panthers. There was people. A lot of people don't know that the Panthers had a very vibrant chapter in Seattle. We and also, which is not that far from the birthplace of the Panthers, which is Oakland. So we were able to bring an older generation of Black Panthers, the OGs, together with the new generation. There are Black Panther parties that are still in existence. Well, still in existence is not actually accurate, because these are new chapters that have been started since the Panthers were infiltrated and destroyed and whatnot. So what we've been able to do is to meet with the OGs who still live in these areas, and then kind of bring the new generation in, and then bring folks together into a room, talk about these policies on this platform that folks would really, that our people would really benefit from, and make plans for how we're going to organize in the future after this election. So Seattle was great. We had a fantastic event there. Excuse me, a really great panel. We went out with the Black Panther Party of Tacoma, Washington, to help them with their breakfast, well, not breakfast, but their food program that day when we were in Seattle. So they take food to the unhoused communities around the Tacoma area. And there are a lot. People talk a lot about Skid Row in LA. But Skid Row, there are Skid Rows all over the country, in probably every city. There's an enormous homeless problem in Seattle. People always make a big deal about how the liberals in California destroyed, LA with the homeless. Well, Seattle is the same. Oakland is the same. It's bad. But people are really trying to serve the people, like the Panthers told us to do. And Oakland was great. I finally got to see the bust of Huey P. Newton. Finally got to see the museum, at least the building, because we were too busy to actually go into the museum.
What do you mean a bust? The bust.
There is a bust in Oakland, in the neighborhood where the Black Panther Party was started, and of Huey P. Newton.
Oh, okay.
Like, right, it's a beautiful bust right in the middle. I have pictures, but I'm gonna have to do it next week, because.
Hey, doctor, you know what a bust is?
Nope.
Oh no!
I thought a bust was your chest.
No, oh my Lord, no. Okay, I'm sorry. I should not assume. I should not have assumed. That's on me. I'm gonna take that one. That's on me.
Hey, I'm glad Kim caught it, because I'll ask if I don't know. I don't give a. So that's how you get smarter. Go ahead.
A bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now I think about it. Bust.
The picture.
The statue.
Yeah, the sculpture of
a person's neck and head up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's called a
bust. So that's a bust.
In art. Yes.
Now our remixes know. I'm not the only
one.
No,
right.
now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Oh, please. A lot of these people just scared. They just don't know. And they don't say nothing. They just wait for me to ask.
That's right.
Well, that's dope.
Ask the question here, doctor. Ask the question.
Yeah, because some people know it all in the chat room.
Well, did you take a picture with the bust, Jackie?
I did.
Okay. We're gonna have to see these pictures. Okay, nice. So, what do you do after a whole day of? How do you defuse after a whole day of just talking, meeting people? I mean, do you just get right in your shower in bed? Is it? Are you just?
I haven't been able to incorporate like my normal kind of decompression thing after we finish a big event. Like when we finished the CBC planning, and the event happened, and that, you know, took a lot. Like for 2 days, I was just like, don't talk to me. Just I'm not doing any meetings. I'm just gonna rest. When you're on a campaign, when you're on the road, it's, I guess, I don't know how normal this is, because this is the first time I've ever done this, and it might be the last. But but there's no time to decompress if you're like traveling on the road, because I mean, the next event is you got a day full of events, and then the next day is another day full of events, or you're traveling to get to the other so there's not a lot of time for decompression. And just not being rushed and hurried and a little bit stressed out. There's not a lot of time for that. So I get that when I come home.
Got you.
You know,
Hey,
for a couple of days.
Total Revolution said R.I.P. Marcellus Khalif Williams. That's right. That happened yesterday.
Yes. So Missouri executed an innocent man. A man was lynched in this country yesterday, despite evidence that he did not commit the crime. His DNA was not on the murder weapon. On top of that, the state prosecutor uncovered and admitted that there was misconduct with handling of the evidence. There was all kinds of issues with the prosecution. There was a lot of doubt about that trial that convicted him. And yesterday, the Missouri Supreme Court refused the Innocence Project's briefs to halt the execution. So Khalifa Williams was executed by the state, lynched by the state of Missouri. Last night at 6 p.m., he was pronounced at 6:10. The last words he wrote a few days before the execution, apparently they make the condemned sign a statement before their execution. This system is the mental and emotional abuse that they continue to put people through, almost right up to the moment that they lynch them. This is disgusting that they make people do this. But the last words Khalifa Williams wrote on that form was, "Praise be to Allah in every situation." And he said he did not want to, he marked the box that said that he did not want to make a final statement. That man was a more upright man than everybody. His dignity and his strength and his courage defeated the state, because they did not break him even up until the end. So, and I really ask for people, I'm sorry, Kim, I'm sorry. Okay. But I really ask for people to lift up ML Smith and the folks over at Missourians Against the Death Penalty. And of course, Khalifa's family and friends as they prepare for his janazah. But really lift ML up, because this is hard work. And as you can see, it is heartbreaking. It can be heartbreaking. So please just lift that sister up in whatever your spiritual practices are.
So with the Supreme Court denying his appeal last night, am I mistaken in thinking that Joe Biden could have done something from the White House? Could the president have granted him some sort of clemency or pardon or something? Could Biden Harris have done something to intercede on behalf of Mr. Williams?
You know, legally, I can't answer that question, but I know morally, a phone call would have at least shown that they gave a damn, right? A phone call to the governor saying, "Can I convince you to stop this execution?" you should stop this execution. Even if there was no legal precedent for it, even if the president doesn't have any authority to do that, which I think that's bullshit. I think the president has the authority to do whatever the hell they want, because all presidents have done whatever the hell they want when it comes to bombing and killing people and stealing their labor and their resources. So you can't tell me the president or the vice president couldn't pick up the phone and call the governor of Missouri and say, you need to at least stay this execution. Like I said about Obama, even if the GOP took him to court, sued him for it, and ultimately got the efforts overturned, the effort to do something on behalf of the people would have gone a long way. But they don't even make the effort. They don't even try. They won't make a statement, nothing. So yeah, they could have done something, but they're genocidaires. And if they don't give a damn about killing 200,000 people in Palestine and terrorizing and murdering hundreds more now in Lebanon, they don't give a damn about one Black man's life.
Well, Kamala can't be the president for just Black people. You know what I'm saying? She's
Right.
trying to be president for all people. And, if we don't get her elected, fascism can come. And what happens when fascism comes? Innocent people are executed by the state. So we have to stop that, right? Because if Trump gets into office, there's going to be more of that. I hate these people very badly.
It bothers me, of course, but it tracks with that people in this country, but not people, politicians. They don't talk about incarcerated people. They are our people. This is why political prisoners and prison justice needs to be at the foundation of radical revolutionary liberation struggles, because you can't talk about getting your people free if you're going to keep our people locked up behind the walls of the carceral state. So if we're not talking about freeing our people from American fascist concentration camp gulags, then we cannot be free. If we're not talking about freeing political prisoners and serious prison justice, then we can't talk about reparations. Don't talk to me about reparations if you ain't talking about dealing with the abuse and the torture and the continued slavery that is legal of incarcerated people. If these reparations folks ain't talking about prison justice in connection with reparations and the continued slavery imposed upon our people, then shut up. This is prison. Our people on the inside, a lot of our people on the inside are more organized than we are. They are doing more work to organize our people on the inside than we are.
You think it would be different if people that's incarcerated could vote? Then maybe they would.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Then maybe, but they look at them like,
Yeah, because this is the thing that I love. This is the thing that makes me excited about organizing among our people. Because when you do it, and if you're able to do it in a larger area, if you're able to travel and meet our people in other places, you learn that there are different aspects of struggle that our people are engaged in that we don't have any knowledge of. Like in Oakland, we had a panel discussion that was hosted by the folks over at All of Us or None out of Wisconsin. They have a chapter in Oakland. They're working on something called Proposition 6 in California, which would not only abolish the legalized slavery for convicted felons clause in the California Constitution. So this is a state constitution issue, but the All of Us or None organization and a couple of other groups of folks advocating for the incarcerated and the formerly incarcerated to have their not just their voting rights, but all of their legal and civil rights restored when they get out of prison. So what I found out was the number of incarcerated people who, if they were all allowed to vote, because when you become incarcerated, you should not lose your citizenship, right?
Yeah.
That's not how that's supposed to work. But we know that is what is done, basically, to a lot of formerly incarcerated people. There are very few states in this country that allows people who are incarcerated to vote while they're incarcerated. I think Oakland is one, and that's in the state and county jails, but not the federal prisons for obvious reasons. Maine is another. And I think Vermont is another state, but literally the number of states where people who are in jail and in prison can vote, well, in jail can vote, a handful. Almost every other state in this country denies convicted people who have been convicted of felonies and who have served time, denies them their allegedly legal right to vote, which is basically stripping people's citizenship because of a conviction. So these folks in California have been working on ensuring voting rights for the incarcerated, the currently incarcerated. They're pushing to get people, they're the ones who were able to get people who were in jail the right to vote in California. I did not know that until I went to Oakland and talked to these folks. Now they're working on amending the California state constitution to take the slavery clause out of the state constitution. We're talking about millions of people who, if they were all allowed to vote, a third party like the Green Party could be a viable threat in every single election. That's millions of people right there. That's a party all its own. That could be, you see what I'm saying? So if people in California is doing this work to enfranchise formerly incarcerated and even incarcerated people into being able to engage in this alleged democratic franchise, then that would change the game. That would make a difference for our people, particularly incarcerated people, if they can vote for the policies that would help them, right? But because we don't know a lot about this struggle, because there's a whole lot of class issues in our community where we don't want to advocate for our brothers and sisters who are behind the walls, because we have these backward ideas about, oh, they committed a crime, so they have to pay the... Yeah. If everyone in this country could exercise the right to vote the way they claim we have, things would not be the way they are. But because this system was never designed for everyone to participate in this voting franchise, this is exactly what was designed to happen. So
yeah,
the more I do this, the more I'm like, you know what? Yeah, voting is a tool, but voting is not going to fix this.
All right, man. Big up to A-Rob. Said, my son is serving a life sentence, and yeah, the whole thing is sad and sick. Oh, A-Rob, let your son know that the remixes and the Remix Morning crew is sending their love and positive energy, and keep your head up while you in there. So that's what it is. So we only gonna be on here for about an hour today, y'all. So 9 o'clock, we got things to do.
I know. We got kidney tings.
Yeah, and I gotta go DJ for some kids. So
are you gonna be playing the Kids Bop version of your?
Oh no,
Really not.
no, the clean versions of all the ratchetness. Actually,
it's just gonna be an instrumental.
Damn near. But actually,
808, dude.
They're doing karaoke today, so I'll be karaoke DJ.
Oh, that
today.
sounds like a blasty blast.
Yeah,
I love karaoke.
It should be fun.
Well, we're going to do revolutionary karaoke, everybody. With
oh man,
let's
go.
Gil Scott Heron and Nina Simone songs. We're doing revolutionary karaoke.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I've been geeking out on Fever 333. I haven't listened to them in a minute. You got to look them up. You got to look the band Fever 333 up. Yes, they are a hybrid metal hip hop band. Yes, it's and it's great, and I love it. And it is typical. It's actually not typical anything. You just got to check out Fever 333. But yeah, I've been kind of geeking out on that and stuff like that. So I think that would be funny to have a bunch of organizers doing revolutionary karaoke.
We're going to do it on here. Watch. Not on the Remix Morning Show. We're going to do it right here on the screen.
I mean, why not?
Hey, let's go.
The stream has this
Oh,
off
it's delay.
just a little
delay.
tiny delay, like
Yeah, it does.
half a
It
note
does.
delay, half a beat
It's
measure
that's
delay.
true.
So it don't line up. It's gonna be a little awkward.
Yeah, it might be. All right, so let's take a real quick break since it's halftime right about now, and then we're going to come back because all the stuff going on, we need a little mental health break right about here right now.
Who we do?
So let's do it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah. What's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. Go to our website and donate at blkliberationmedia.org. We definitely love and respect that you can donate because right now we are demonetized forever and ever, forever. Yeah. So that would definitely help us out. With that said, I needed a little mental health break. I seen this sister singing, and I was like, yo, this feels good for the soul. So check it out with me, all right?
Like leaves on the Mississippi River. Black leaves in the Mississippi fire. Black leaves in the Mississippi choir. Black leaves on the Mississippi land. And we've got garden, we've got sons and daughters, we got grit and glory, we've got mama stories, we've got strength like towers, we got hope and power. God made woman with an iron's hand, placed her up.
Whoa, man. When you talk about music that just gets in you, that's what I'm talking about, a voice like that. Big up to that sister, Sing Kirby Sing. Go check her out. And yeah, that's what it is. Let's go ahead and get back to our crew right here on the Remix Morning Show. I ain't got no music ready. Yes, I do. Let's go. Yeah.
Dope vocalist. That was very inspirational.
Man, you just the tone of that take you back to like the 50s, right? Just her how she sang that.
Yeah, that was big Wade in the Water energy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Wade in the Water children. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, very much. But it was dope though. I liked it. It was
Yeah.
very nice.
Big up to what's the name that told Martin, yo, do that joint you did last night.
Huh?
What's the gospel singer's name?
Mahalia?
Mahalia Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah. She's like, kick that rhyme you was kicking last night. And let the dream speech was born right there.
I'm so glad you cleaned that first thing up.
Oh yeah, I like to take you through a little, maze before I
You
get
do
there.
know, you do like to take us through it, Ear Doctor. You got that right. Yes. You do.
Not always a pleasant maze either.
I just like to see y'all face like,
I know that, and I don't dig that about you. By the way, I don't exactly like that you will say things just to get a reaction. It's like, nigga, what? What?
I can't help it.
What in the
if I
what?
wanted to, couldn't help it if I could. All right,
Okay,
so
MJ.
I'll let y'all get to it. You got about 28 minutes.
Yes.
Rock and roll
All right.
then.
Woo.
Yo. Jacqueline Lukman, very good to
Mhm.
see you with us this morning on the Remix Morning Show. Remixers, thank you all so much for being here. Ear Doctor, go ahead and hit that boogie into the news intro if you don't mind. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Women's Wednesdays on the Remix Morning Show, exclusively here on Black Liberation Media on this good Wednesday, the 25th of September, 2024. It's us, the women's, Kim, Jacqueline in the building, you, the remixers, also here on this abbreviated version of Women's Wednesdays, because, you know, these folks got stuff to do and stuff. So we're going to make this a quickie, as it were. Do us a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, support us if you can in the material ways. Patreon.com/Black Liberation Media, or you can go to blkliberationmedia.org and donate directly with your payment method of choice. We appreciate it. Jackie, I know we have a story we want to get into, but I want us to play, if we could. Ear Doctor, can you queue up to join our ear marker? I emailed you and Jackie. This is brief, and I wanted to get Jackie's take on this because she is a district resident. And allegedly, there was a series of police reforms that was passed here in DC over the past, let's say, roughly decade or so, that was supposed to improve relationships between Metropolitan Police and the communities in which it serves. But it turns out, to no one's surprise, that MPD is still on that bullshit. So one of y'all's, I sent it to both of y'all's, to Lukman Nation and to
they are the
Music.
softest, most comfortable t-shirts I have ever found.
Woo,
There are renewed calls for DC police to revise how they conduct those stop and frisk movements in our communities.
Yeah, this comes after the ACLU DC released a report this morning that says, based on police data for 2022 through 2023, Black people are still disproportionately targeted in our city.
This has been an issue WUSA 9 has reported on for the last 7 years, and tonight our Matthew Torres takes a look at the latest numbers.
As a man, you have to keep on pushing.
MB Cottingham admits years after settling a lawsuit in 2018 against a DC police officer over this high-profile stop and frisk incident, the case still affects him at times.
I have to kind of block it out of my mental, even though it has happened and I know that it does exist.
For years, WUSA 9's investigative team has covered DC's police stop and frisk policies, including concerns of underreported numbers and racial disparities. This new report analyzes stop and frisk data collected by DC police in 2022 through 2023. It revealed that Black people composed 70% of people stopped in the district, despite making up only 44% of the city's population.
If you imagine over a 2-year course, a Black person being stopped about every 10 minutes. It really raises a concern about biased policing.
MPD lists removing guns as the main reason for stop and frisks. But this new report says that stops led to less than 1% of guns seized in 2022 and just over 1% in 2023.
We're just not actually seeing these stops as generating the level of gun seizures that would have us think, hey, these are effective, this makes sense.
And if the community feels, and that's what this issue gets to, that the police are racial profiling, that's not good. We will not have effective policing in this city.
We reached out to DC police for a comment, but they have not responded yet. The ACLU says it's time to consider how to minimize this policy and put resources on other community policing efforts. Cottingham agrees.
It's always that slight hope of things can get better, but we'll see.
Matthew Torres, WUSA 9.
What the ACLU, well, the MPD's own numbers, as analyzed by ACLU DC, I believe, found that over 65,000 people were stopped in this 1 or 2 year period. And you heard the numbers there. 70% of those 65,000 or so folks were Black. Mm-hmm. And 1% or even less than 1% of those stop and frisks yielded a gun seizure. But Jackie, we got to get the guns off the street. How we going to get the guns off the street if we not stopping and frisking niggas? I mean, make it make sense here. As a district resident, what is your reaction when you hear those numbers? I know not surprising, but infuriating nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this is New York City all over again. It's stop and frisk in New York all over again, because this is what stop and frisk is. It doesn't produce the kind of results that they always claim. They put these policies in place to produce. This is broken windows policing. This is harassing people just because of the suspicion of criminal activity, which in the context of this settler colonial state is racial profiling and white supremacy. Because how you gonna suspect that all the black people committing crime? That's like here in Southeast DC and in Northeast DC, where working class and poor black people still populate most of this area. These are the two areas in this city where most of us live now. The city has been pretty much effectively gentrified because now they're coming over here. So all of the police are over here. All of the police are in the poor black and brown areas of the city. All of the cops are posted up on the corners in Southeast, in Black Northeast, in Chicano Northeast, in Mexican Northeast. But in Northwest, where the rich folks live, where the rich white people live, the cops are not posted up on all the corners up in Chevy Chase, up on Foxhall Road. They're not posted on every corner in Georgetown. They are in Georgetown, but they're not stopping frisking all those college students who probably got more drugs on them.
Listen,
most than any kid in the hood.
If Metropolitan Police would have took the time to stop and frisk all them crackers on January 6th, do you know how many guns they would have taken off the street?
They would have taken half the guns that exist in this country. They would have taken 222 million guns off the street.
If it was about getting the guns off the street, you should have been frisking them crackers, okay? Because we knew they was holding. All right,
exactly. So this is not a surprise. The thing that infuriates me about these issues, where a stop and frisk, these black Democratic politicians are the ones pushing these draconian policing policies, is that because of our own internal class contradictions, a lot of our people, particularly people my generation and older, they believe these policies will save them or protect them from, this specter of rising crime that they're afraid of. But they also don't want to, they just want to punish people for making them feel unsafe, but they don't want to actually address the root causes of the issues that cause some people to be pushed toward crime. Because nobody is going to voluntarily starve because they can't make money legally. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because this society doesn't provide guaranteed minimum income, universal income, a guaranteed job, affordable or guaranteed housing, guaranteed, state-funded education and healthcare. People are not going to voluntarily starve because they can't legally make a living and legally put a roof over their head. Come on. But we don't think about that because all we think about, a lot of us in the petty bourgeoisie, black class, we think of poor black folks as them that we want away from us. So those are the kind of folks in our community who support these kind of policies, right? We make a mistake by thinking that all black folks are revolutionary minded and all black folks are opposed to the state. No, that is not true at all. We have to be very clear that a lot of the reason these policies continue to get recycled and rehashed and re-implemented is because politicians, particularly black politicians, know how to play on the fears of petty bourgeois black folks, particularly older black folks, to get them to sign on to their policies criminalizing poor black people, because they understand that these petty bourgeois black folks don't like poor black folks and they're afraid of them too.
Well, what's also interesting is that, at least for this story, Metropolitan Police didn't have a comment right? They ain't got nothing to say about it. I'm curious if Mayor Muriel Bowser's office has anything to say about it, right? Like, Metropolitan Police budget continues to increase, go up year over year. They are offering $25,000 in signing bonuses for new cadets. That's a fuck ton of money. And they're offering all this money for the cops. And when it comes to results, quote unquote results, what does all this money yield? Well, it yields the ongoing harassment of DC residents and Black people visiting the city. And it does not yield gun seizures, right? And this whole idea that if we got to get the guns off the street, that is a liberal pie in the sky fantasy, kids. It's 1,000 years to get 400 million guns off the street. So let us rid ourselves of the childish notion that one tweeted picture at a time can the police claim to be doing, quote, their job to get guns off the street. It's never going to happen. But even the idea of Black people being in possession of guns is something that is deeply uncomfortable for this country, period, right? I know it's kind of a separate but related issue, because this young man in DC, Justin Robinson, was just murdered by police simply for having a gun in at the reach. He wasn't aiming it at police. He wasn't doing anything with it. He simply had it on him. I understand why he had a gun on him. I don't fault him for having a gun on him. But the reaction to our people even being in possession of guns, it elicits a murderous response from the police. It results in a hyper vigilant response. Our people get brutalized again simply for gun possession. But even the duties of policing itself does not take the guns off the street. So I know this is kind of maybe not tangential, but you guys understand what I'm saying. These policies don't work. There's no such thing as police reform. And these are reforms, right, Jackie? This whole in 2016, when the council passed that stop and frisk should not be a thing, that's a police reform. And did it take?
Nope, the reform did not take. This is the problem with reform. This is the problem with changing. So, and this is why I don't understand why people don't get this about this idea of reform. So I think of it this way. If you have a chronic condition, and I don't care what the chronic condition is, it doesn't matter. Pick one. And you take medication to mitigate the symptoms or the side effects of the condition, but you never actually address what caused the condition. So when you keep taking the medication for the condition, for the side effects, you feel okay because you're not dealing with that side effect, but you still have that chronic condition. If you stop taking that medication, guess what happens? You get sick. You get much worse. Then your chronic condition takes over, and it could kill you. That's what reform is like. Like, you don't, when you reform a system, or when you claim you're going to reform a system that was not designed to be healthy and actually work for the people in the first place, all you're doing is mitigating the effects of the system that's ineffective for the people, for the most affected people, right? So when you put those reforms in place and you put on paper, well, look, this reform is going to provide more training for police, and then stop and frisk is going to get guns off the streets. And then when the reforms that's supposed to address this side effect of crime don't work, then instead of realizing, okay, we need to deal with what drove people to this, what created the conditions in which people felt like they had to do this, instead of doing that, they're like, no. Oh, these reforms didn't work. Then that means we just have to employ some tougher reforms. That's how this reform thing works. It doesn't fix anything. It just demonizes the people that this system and the institutions in it were always put in place to exploit and oppress. That's what reform does. It doesn't change or improve or replace the system of oppression. It just more deeply entrenches the oppression. That's it.
But Trump. But Trump. Trump. Trump.
I think we need an audio of a, especially since we're coming up on spooky season here. I think we need an audio of Trump, just the word Trump in like all the spooky sound effects. When we talk about bad Democratic policies, because like you said, our brother Khalifa was lynched by the state under Biden Harris.
Girl, don't even get me started. With Kamala being a prosecutor, and I'm here to stand up for law and order and justice. Bitch, did you pick up a phone? What you mean?
She didn't have enough power to do that. She didn't have enough power to pick up a phone. Come on, man. And then here we are in DC with a Black Democratic female mayor who has never spoken out against the police every time they have killed a poor Black person in this city. She has never spoken out against the police every time they have taken one of our people's lives in it. She has never, and she never will. So these people are, and look, I know folks are listening to this like, well, you know, like Kim said, but Trump, and we really need the spooky. We need the spooky audio right there. We
need Vincent Price cackling in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like we need. There we go, doctor. Because again, all of these Kamala folk, all of these Democrats, like when you say, but Trump, so what are you saying? So 100,000 district residents are going to be stopped and frisked over a 1 to 2 year period if Trump, as opposed to the 66,000 that are currently being stopped and frisked under Democratic leadership. Like, what are we saying? What are they saying?
We keep saying things that people keep not listening to. Like in 2020, when the uprising against police terrorism happened and the brutal repression of protesters here in DC happened at Lafayette Square Park, people blame that repression on Trump. Mm-hmm. That wasn't Trump. Trump did not make that call and bring out the federal law enforcement. That was Muriel Bowser. It was Muriel Bowser who imposed the curfew and then told the federal police, MPD, CIA, FBI police, Secret Service police to arrest everybody who was past curfew out in that park at that protest. That was the Black Democratic mayor. That wasn't Trump. Trump did not make that call and call out all those forces on us in DC.
And you have to juxtapose that again against January 6th, guys. Like when I tell you it was like a concert let out. Them crackers strode up out the Capitol unarrested, unencumbered, unbothered. Mm-hmm. Nobody stopped and frisked these fucking crackers who had just ransacked the U.S. Cap and regular ass Washingtonians going to work, minding their business, doing whatever they do, traversing around the city, encountered this routine harassment. So miss me, Muriel Bowser. Miss me with all the Trump. I don't want to hear it. We don't believe you. It's a farce.
It's ridiculous. And I have to say, because we haven't had a lot of time to talk about it, because I've been on the road and I've been like a chicken with my head cut off. It's just been nuts. But the situation in this city with Trayon White,
I've been wanting to get your take on that, Jackie. We got 10 minutes though. We got time to get into Trayon, or do we need to hit the joint there? I want you to make your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to preface, just to give a little teaser, because maybe this is a Patreon discussion. But as much as I want to support young politicians who were mentored by folks who have a solid reputation among our people. And please understand, when I say our people, I mean working class and poor Black folks. And I mean the us middle class, quote unquote, middle class, petty bourgeois Black folks who are committing class suicide.
Real quick, so because for all of our viewers who may not know who Trayon White is, Trayon White is a Ward 8 councilman representing Southeast DC. He has been recently indicted federally on alleged bribery charges for allegedly receiving cash kickbacks in exchange for his influence on the council to approve funding for a violence interruption contract. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to give that clarity for the audience. Go ahead.
No, thank you. You're right. Yeah. So and Trayon White, young brother, mentored by Marion Barry. I'm like, sir, I appreciate the pressure you're under. And he has been under some scrutiny. Some of it he kind of brought on himself. Because he's young. But some of it definitely unwarranted. But this thing, it's like, I understand the pressure you're under, but bruh, if you know what they did to Marion Barry, why would you put yourself in the situation to get caught up in the same way? Right? Like,
because Trayon White, I mean, I don't know, to be clear, but my guess is he's like, well, Mendelson's doing it.
I
doing it.
and I get that. I absolutely get it, because Phil Mendelssohn is the fucking devil in DC. He is the devil. That man is the devil in DC. He is the reason that a ceasefire resolution was not passed. Because we straight up went into the chamber of the city council and stopped their little hearing. And I stood there and I cussed that man out. And they calling security and everything. And I'm leaving the chamber screaming.
Right.
Like, right. With y'all. You a bunch of genocidaires.
Get him.
And he just straight up told people, I am not going to allow a vote for a ceasefire resolution to be passed. That man is the devil. But this, I understand when people say, look, white people get away with it all the time. This is true, but this is why we can't do the same shit in this system that white people do. We never could. So I get the reasoning behind, you know what? I'm gonna get mine any way that I can in this corrupt system. But when you're in a position of political power, I feel like, how do I explain this? Like, I feel like that kind of thing that kind of thing is cool for us folks on the street trying to survive, right? Like, I don't care about the people selling hot shit out the back of their truck. Like, I feel like everybody should support the underground economy. You know, the brothers coming around with the, selling the boxes of meat and, whatever. Yeah, support the underground economy. I think for Black politicians, that's not something we can get away with. We've seen that over and over again. When have Black politicians not escaped harsh punishment for doing the exact same thing that white politicians do and get away with for decades and never lose their jobs, never get indicted, never? You see what I mean?
Well, let's hope it's coming for Eric Adams. I'm sorry.
No, what'd you say?
I said, let's hope it's coming for Eric Adams. Right?
Oh, God, no.
While we getting Black politicians, get his ass.
They're gonna let him ride a little bit longer because he's really, really pro cop. He's a fascist. So they're like, yeah, we can use him for a while longer. But White was trying to do stuff for the folks over here in Ward 8, the poor Black folks who are the targets of stop and frisk, right? So I get that the logic of, white politicians get away with it all the time, but if you are trying, you are the only advocate for your people in these positions. Taking that route is not the smartest thing to do, right? That's my criticism of him in this moment. And I'm not even, we can get into, when we really have time to dig into this, whether the charges are true. I don't know. But I just feel like we have to stop thinking that if we are going to get involved in electoral politics and implementing a dual power kind of strategy, we cannot expect to play the game the way white people do and get the same results as white people get. That's not going to happen. So we should stop doing that, I think.
Definitely. We have one more story if we can get to.
We got 3 more minutes.
Okay,
4 more minutes.
simmer down.
I'm not saying no.
Mr. Time Lord over there, and not in the good Doctor Who sense.
You saying hurry
Wow.
up and buy, and I don't dig it.
Wow.
Don't hurry up and buy me, ear doctor.
When things ain't on time, people complain. When they on time, they complain. I don't.
When do I ever complain when things are not on time? Time is relative, and I don't care about it.
Who's complaining?
Because y'all on that CPT time.
And you on that CPT time, that colonized people time.
That's that cosmic people time.
Nigga. Space. And
Anyway,
time.
you got your. Before I talk about the most famous bus ever made, go ahead. Lionel Richie in a Hello video. Come on.
That is not. You know what? I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I am going to get my blood drawn. Because that is more pleasant
Jackie,
than this.
hello.
No,
your Google
goodbye.
search is
You're
for
looking
bust.
for?
I'm sure your joint is all your algorithm is all. You got a whole bunch of cleavage results.
So you want to mention a story that we'll talk about tomorrow?
Excuse me.
Well,
Kim.
we were requested to talk about it today.
What is it?
It's in the chat. God damn it. Y'all gonna make me pull it up of all niggas. Like
What
shit.
you talking about? What we posted on Black Liberation IG and also put on our page?
Nigga, I don't know what is on either of those things. What are you referring, my brother?
I'm referring to
what the good sister Ricky Ryan dropped.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So go to our page and check it out. We're talking about pro-Palestine organizer at Cornell University, grad student, was recently suspended by Cornell without cause. He's facing deportation if the suspension is not reversed soon. So yeah, go and check that out, and you'll see the link to the petition and the story over there on.
Can we
our
drop
page.
it in the chat, perhaps?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Hey, you know I like to work with you.
Sometimes, yes.
Whoa.
A veces.
And work with you, and at the same time be on time, because guess what? It's about time to get out of here, y'all. So listen, make sure y'all come back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. and we will rock out with y'all again.
We will do this more in depth tomorrow.
Yes, we'll do it more in depth. Y'all got anything coming up, Jackie?
I don't know what is coming up. I don't know. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing after I get to this doctor's appointment. I don't know. Oh, I do have to explain what happened Friday. I couldn't get into StreamYard from my laptop, so I could not stream Darker Than Blue from Friday to the platform, but I will upload that video because that was an interview with my comrade Kwame Shakur, who attended the most of the Uhuru 3 trial and gave us some information about what happened during that trial that we did not hear and are not going to hear from the media. So look out for that. I will upload that this week. Excuse me.
And that's what it is. And me and Kim will be back here tomorrow also with Classical Breakdown. We don't know what it is yet, but we're gonna break it down.
I've already told the people what we're doing.
93?
Yeah.
That's right. The year 1993. So
1993. So shout out to the class of 93. Shout out to if you were born in 93 and all those in betwixt. You need to come kick it with us as we revisit these early headed into the mid 90s. Big year for rap tunes, big year for R&B tunes. A lot of y'all got pregnant in 93, and that's okay. Silk and Shy and SWV was doing what they were supposed to be doing out here. So
it looked like Jackie was thinking about 93. Was it your thoughts in black and white? Anyway, we're going to be back here tomorrow. Remix Morning Show, y'all. Peace out.